Lewis, huge congratulations to you. You've now had a bit of time to let it soak in. For a man who's achieved so much in his career, what does this first one with Ferrari mean to you?
God, turn this thing up. Hey. That was the longest TV pen I've ever had. I think it's going to definitely take me some days to really... I'll look back at this for sure and be like, damn, I wish I had the right words. How do you find the right words to express an emotion that's beyond your wildest dreams, you know? It's... I truly believed in my decision and joining Ferrari. I truly believed what this team could achieve, what we could achieve together. And I know it started out with lots of excitement and then lots of doubt and lots of negativity that followed through a whole year. And I really feel like my fans really rescued me last year. My family also and friends that stuck with me through it all. And started into a new season, a new year, where lots and lots of changes enabled in the background enabled me to get to this position I'm in today. And I just feel a lot of gratitude, a lot of pride, and very, very proud of the people that I work with. They're so passionate and have so much humility and so kind. And seeing them sing the national anthem today was, wow, it was an incredible feeling, man. Just the best.
In all the victories that you've achieved, would you describe this as a uniquely special victory given the journey that you've been on recently?
I mean, they're all special in their own way, you know. There's different journeys to each of them. And, like the last one, or not the last one, the one in Silverstone in 2024 was in its own way a monumental moment for me, because it's a moment where I never thought maybe that I'd ever get to win again. And then after a year like last year, there was definitely moments that I was like, sheesh, maybe it is true that, when you get to a certain point, you lose it. But I've proven that you don't. You always have it. And it's just, it takes work. It takes perseverance, that constant believing in yourself to tap into in your inner self and keep yourself alive, keep yourself fit. And I feel great physically, I'm racing with 19-year-olds, and who are doing amazing. But I feel great. I think it's so early in the season to get to this point. These guys have really listened and really worked hard to add performance and be innovative. This year is all about innovation. We came out with the bit on the rear exhaust. We came out with what else was it? The rear wing, the Macarena. And this is what I was asking for last year. I was like, this team has to be the leaders in that, and they've shown that they can and they will. And we've got a lot of work ahead of us. By no means is this there's something that's just going to happen all the time. We've got a heavy, steep mountains or climb up ahead of us to try to do this as Mercedes has all year so far.
You mentioned about the negativity last year, and also, I guess, in the end of your time at Mercedes as well. How hard is it? I know you all say that you don't listen to or don't read social media, you block it all out, but how hard is it when that's coming on so strong, and how close were you to not giving up, but starting to really doubt yourself enough that you felt you might leave?
Well, I mean, I'm only human, so, there's moments where I see the stuff, and for sure, there's moments where I allowed it to get to me and penetrate deeply. But then I went through a sequence of unplugging from that matrix I mentioned last year, and spent lots of time with family, lots of time with friends, real people that know me, that have never doubted me, have stuck to and by me all my whole life, and then I just went on the mission from Christmas Day. The training that I put in was harder than I've ever experienced. Keep myself in good shape, because I think at the beginning of last year I got injured here actually, and carried that for months. I think just things that I just know is to never second guess yourself, never doubt yourself. You've got to continue to believe in yourself at the core, and those are the things that I've managed to re-implement into my mentality, and I've rebuilt my mind to this point to get myself back to where I was, and it's a great feeling to stand here, or to sit here right now, but to stand on that podium. As I was saying earlier on, I'm probably going to sleep in this red top tonight. It's a good feeling to have the horse on there at the top.
You probably heard the mechanics were chanting your name when you were on the podium, and you've talked a lot about remembering who you are this year. It's a thing you've said quite a lot. Do you feel that maybe you've reminded the team who you are as well, and that you've maybe done something to cement the relationship between driver and team a little bit more?
I don't know if I don't really feel that I've had to remind the team. They've been so kind. You come back to the garage after a difficult race, and they're like, "Don't worry, next time." They're just so supportive through it all. But for sure, results like this change everything, and for sure reinstate, if there is a lack of confidence, reinstates it all. And I hope that this was a convincing gap and race. But I think that it's been happening over the last few races. The changes that I've asked for and pushed for all last year have been made, and I now have the right team around me. I now have the right car around me, and now I can start doing what I do best.
Lewis, you spoke about the national anthem sung below you. What was the feeling with your new Italian Bono beside you?
It was great to have him up there. I think, him kind of substituting this year, jumping in and diving in deep with me. We didn't know each other, we'd never spoken, and I didn't really know much. I didn't know anything about him, and we met, and I think got on straight away. But it's great to be able to connect with an engineer other than what I used to have. I had it for such a long time, and then you kind of lose that feeling because Bono's now doing it with Kimi, and it's really great to be able to share that experience with him on that stage. And also probably he's very, very quiet. You could tell it's hard for him to express his emotions. He's just smiley, and so I'm giving him these big hugs and pulling him in, saying thank you. And I like to think that this has probably reignited the love that he has as being an engineer, and as he has done for me as a driver.
As you said, this is now a chance for you to do what you do best. Toto's just spoken, was very complimentary about the win, and said that when you smell blood in a title race, he knows how good you are, so he doesn't want to really fight you this year. Is the dream of the 8th World Championship alive and well after this?
Well, honestly, I with the way that the year started out, I've not really been thinking about it like that. I've not been thinking about an 8th. Of course, what we had worked towards has been able to win, but I've always been conscious of the fact that it takes time, and Mercedes have come out the gates with a blistering car and blistering pace. Both drivers doing such a great job. We know we have this power deficit. There's going to be tracks where we go to with the long straights where that makes it even harder. But as I said, we've got a great car at the core, and if we keep adding performance and we can go through the corners quicker, maybe we can narrow that deficit down a little bit until we improve, or until we close the gap on power. Very, very hard to think long term at the moment. I think it's just about taking it one race at a time, 1 week at a time. I'll be at the factory next week. We'll do a download. We'll speak to the aerodynamicists, looking at all the different things that are in the pipeline, when they're coming, what effect that they'll have, re-steer if I need to, in whatever direction I feel that the car needs to go. We'll just keep pushing, and enjoying it. We have to just have fun with it as well, you know.
Maybe it's one of the best day of the Formula One history, because a legend driver won with the most iconic team ever in Formula One here, where 30 years ago another legend, as Michael, won his first race in red. How do you feel about it?
Yeah.
And this is the best, is this the first step of a legendary story?
I think this is the first step of our story. And I just learned just now that it was 30, just been reminded that it was 30 years ago that Michael won. And, you know, I was at home on my couch watching that race, probably like many of you, with a plate on my lap, eating like a sandwich. I would always, or maybe it was chicken noodle soup or something like that. I would, on a Sunday, I was 12, if I wasn't racing. And just looking at that red car and thinking, I wonder what it's like to sitting in the red cockpit. My cockpit happens to be white, which is, I wasn't happy about it. I wanted it to be red, like Michael's. So hopefully I'll get it back red at some stage. But what it would be like to sit in that red car, which I got to experience last year. But then be in that red suit, standing in first place in front of that amazing crew who sing the national anthem. And I think the sound was off today because they were like out of sync with the song. But it was really amazing to witness and to see, and to see the joy in their eyes and in there, to feel it with them. I nearly passed out after I hugged them. My heart was exploding with joy.
Fred just very modestly said he can't take any credit for kind of the turnaround that you've had over the last year and a half, but I wondered what role he's actually played, you know, through this journey with you, especially through some of the worst moments last year. I know that you guys go back a long way. How much credit would you give Fred for just kind of keeping the faith and keeping you focused on this prize and whatever's to come? Thanks.
Well, firstly, I wouldn't be in this team without Fred. Fred is the one that made it happen, of which I'm incredibly grateful to him for. I think last year was really, really, really tough for him to deal with. Me coming was a big shock to the system, because I am very, very vocal. If I see something that I don't think is right, or I push very, very hard. That's at the core of who I am, and I'm relentless with it. And I think it's not easy to be on the receiving end of that when you're also juggling a whole organization, you know, and a culture that in its own it's set in a certain way. But and also, you know, he's French in an Italian culture. It was a lot for him to juggle, and I think very, very tough, because also he would do media as well. But he continued to believe, continued to be a good friend, continued to be a great teammate and an ally, and really supportive. and ultimately really listened at the end, and I had to really ask for some of the changes, and he enabled them to happen, which I'm forever grateful for, because this wouldn't have happened without those changes. So big thank you to him.